Hello and welcome back to DGA Live. We kind of had some live streams last week, but they were intermittent. Few and far between. What's up, Ed, Jed, Mogul? Ed, Jed, and Mogul touring the Midwest this summer. What would you guys do if you were a touring company? Here's the funny thing. Oh, okay. Yeah, no power glove. Actually, look. You see that back there? My family and I were at IKEA. This was now over a week ago, right before my trip. And they have these wooden hands with like articulatable fingers. And I was like, the second I saw it, I was like, I know exactly what I'm going to buy that for. It actually took some time. I spent a lot of time trying to get it to hold it in a backhand grip, but there's not enough tension on the joints. So it was pretty hard to do. But a forehand grip just works perfect with it sitting there and kind of gravity doing most of the work. They were only $15. Sorry. It's just such a great deal. Only $15. And yeah, it was pretty fun. So then I went to Masters Cup and oh, weird. That's funny. I wonder if that's a me problem, Kelly, because I may have it set to where when you're on our channel, like the first thing to show up is the playlists and not like recent videos or something. I might have to fix that. All right. Well, I've been with Kelly at Masters Cup for a week, which was nice because I was able to get away from this guy, Ben Sorensen. But I actually wasn't because he was there. And the both of us went to DGA Central. No, DGA HQ last week.
We did?
Yeah, do you remember we left like really early in the morning, we got back like really late at night?
Nope.
It was kind of a bizarre event, if I'm honest.
It was a blur. Well, mostly the coming back was a blur.
Yeah, getting back home was blurry and shaky. So the whole trip on the way back home reminded me of your mom's camcorder footage from 1997, you know, when you're riding a bike. She's like,
no,
do it again. I don't think I was recording. And then you got 23 minutes of the camera just being set down on the ground. Interesting, Kelly. That's a problem that I should fix later, but I'm going to just fix it right now.
Why did that?
It's just the kind of... So when I go to the channel, I see the live video at the top of the very first option. What are you saying? It won't be funny this time, Mom. Maybe it's just a Midwest mom's thing. Doesn't show on any... No, see, I see it on the live tab and the home tab. Do I see it on videos? Nope. I see it on home and I see it on the live tab. I don't know what to tell you, man. Google just does not like you. I'll bet if I went to... I'm going to switch to a different account over here and go to subscriptions. I'll bet I'd see it there too.
Yeah, I see the live icon next to subscriptions.
From a different account, I see it on home and then on subscriptions. Yes, boom. G2G. It hasn't updated with like a, you know, thumbnail of us, but seems okay. Just KG probs. All right, so Ed, Jed, and Mogul. Well, Spoot, hello. Oh yeah, I didn't put it in Discord.
I did.
That perfect. It's always good to have a Ben. Trevor Harbolt. What's up, Trevor? Good to see you, sir.
Yo.
I loved seeing pictures. I was just curating some Team DGA pictures yesterday, and there's a handful of good ones of you from Jonesboro. I think it was Jonesboro, the album I was looking in. Hard to take a bad picture of Trevor Harbolt. You know what I'm saying? Especially like not an action shot.
I know. He's riding all these majestic animals all the time.
Yeah. So Ben, tell us your experience of Masters Cup, because I figured we could talk about that a little bit. Also, I need to move your camera, or you need to move your camera, or I need to crop your video differently.
You don't like me being on the bottom end of the... I know, it's funny.
Just have the entire, just like let people who come into this live stream randomly just be confused by what's going on.
We're both below the...
No, do it for
right
a second.
On the edge of it.
Do it for a second,
yeah.
Just for the clips. Just for the clips. Yeah.
Well, it's harder now that I adjusted my camera.
Right.
Wait, hold on.
Oh man.
This is actually a decent way to describe my trip to Santa Cruz and DGA headquarters.
Short. Too short.
Wild and adventurous.
Just peeking over the edge. Eye level.
Bright.
Bright. Washed out.
Moderately lit.
Wilson cam.
Wilson.
What does that mean?
Is that a
Castaway reference?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Is that a Castaway reference?
I
don't know.
I just can't get over. I want, this is gonna be the screenshot of the thumbnail of this live stream.
Could this be a whole podcast idea?
Or even just the. Hey, this is a great way to feature our new hats. You know?
Hey, actually, you're not wrong there.
And another thing, you know what, Ben? One thing I hate about you, they can't even see how mad we are. Okay, well, the chat's... Oh, back. Hang on. I gotta go. Woo! It's a good thing I'm using our new athletic tee jersey. Otherwise, I never would have been able to get up from the ground.
I do know that reference. I don't know why I didn't get the Wilson reference.
Wilson cam?
Yeah, it's Home Improvement. Yeah, that's his neighbor that Tim was always talking to.
Oh, yeah. Just like the eyes.
Well,
that's funny, actually.
I think
like his whole face? I thought we never saw his face.
Here. Okay. Maybe it was just here.
Flying to Iceland Tuesday. Let me get caught up. Yeah, have a blast in Iceland. That is going to be so awesome. I know, Kelly, I ran up to grab it, and I just wore it. So it's in the laundry. The problem with only grabbing two is that I'm wearing them all the time. I wanted to show off the other version. Did you see the other one, Ben, with the like flowers on it?
Yeah, it's kind of like the tropical leaf themed.
Yeah. Kelly just dropped the link there. I grabbed one of each on the way home, but I've already worn the other one. They're both just super comfortable.
If I was smarter, I would have done that, but you know.
One thing I will say, if you're going to go buy one of these right now, is these days I'm an extra large t-shirt. Like in almost every company, I'm buying extra large t-shirts. The extra large of this was a little big. And then I got a large, and it's perfect. It's just right, where you would want it to be. Let me model it.
Yeah, you're right. You are a little big.
Hey, no body shame on the DGA
No,
live
on the
stream.
screen. On the screen. Why would you think I was no? I was just saying your cropping was weird, dude. That logo like
Isn't
inset like
that
that with the
isn't that
racing stripes.
isn't that awesome? And like the whole thing is a gradient of like little DGA basket icons.
Can you imagine how long it takes to stencil dye that shirt and then multiply that by like 11,000?
uh,
Nice, Brian.
Ed's been complimented on his jersey a few times. They are sharp looking. Yeah, it was eyes only. Are we going to see the in the bags? Oh, when are we going to see the in the bags? You know what's funny about that, Kevin? I actually took Monday. Well, I only did a few hours on Monday because Ben and I got back in at like 4 a.m.
Oh, they were supposed to guess.
Oh.
Well, now you know the answer.
Yeah, now you know the answer. So anyway, so Tuesday morning when I started compiling and copying and all the, the video from that we caught at Masters Cup, I actually spent like 3 hours frantically editing those in the bags because I just had a panic moment of like, oh my gosh, I've got to get the in the bags out from Memorial before I get caught up in all the new stuff. You know what I mean?
That buys you time to get the rest done.
But then guess what happened the rest of the week? I got caught up in the new stuff. So
nice.
I guess maybe I just work all weekend. Who knows? Yeah, I don't get the Swedish or Finnish heavy metal music references. I'm not cultured. Brian got to throw the Austin Hannum Hypercane or the Handpercane or the Hannum Hypes or the Hyper Hannum the other day. Insanely different from First Flights in a good way, and I love the First Flights. I completely agree with everything you just said.
Hypercanum.
It's the Hypercanum. That's a good one too.
It kind of sounds like Hypercannon, which just sounds neat.
Yeah, I've been liking Handpercane, but there's something about it that like feels like that's... I don't know why, but it feels like a diaper. Like when I say Handpercane, I feel like someplace like a bin that you would put dirty diapers in. And I don't know.
It couldn't just be a clothes hamper instead of a diaper hamper.
Brains are weird, Ben. I don't know why I just go straight to diaper, so I try not to say Handpercane, but it does roll off the tongue just like a slick diaper. Icelandic. I don't know anything. It's not Finnish. It's Icelandic. All right. Hypercanum. Hypercanum. Man, there's a lot of different directions you could go with that. Yeah, no, they are different in a good way. And I actually grabbed a handful more while at HQ, and I told you all on the last couple live streams if you should get them. You should get a few because they're going to be that unicorn run that people are talking about years from now. We can show off discs. Do you have your discs that you got at HQ around? Oh my gosh. All right, I'll start. I just have 2 that I wanted to show off. Now, I want this to be a lesson to all of you that I'm not just always trying to sell you guys things. Okay? Because if that was true, I would be, I did just come off a 4-minute stint talking about the Tour Series Hypercane, but that notwithstanding, I'm not about to show you something that you can just go and buy. But does anybody who doesn't know, anybody not in our Discord know from just this? Oh, that right there.
Wow. Showing off so much.
Can you guys tell what that is?
Hey, look. Can you guys... can I do one too, maybe?
Wait, did you get one? Yours is not. No, you got a different one. Kelly knows.
You weren't supposed to tell him that.
Yep. I picked up 2. Kelly was, I think it was when Katrina and Austin were going through the DGA vault, which we can't even get into on the live stream. But oh my gosh, there's some crazy stuff in the DGA vault. Most of it I felt like I should respect the sanctity of it by just leaving it there, because it's better there than me having anything to do with it. I'm sure we all can be in agreement about that. Yeah, shh. All right, let's move on. Anyway, but I did grab these because I was like, so what's the deal with the first flight tremors again? And Kelly was like, the flippiest tremor you've ever thrown. I'm like, oh, that sounds really fun. I like tremors. And so I grabbed 2. I have since thrown them, and oh my, these are fun. He was not wrong. Can't wait to do, honestly, to just bare my soul. I haven't thrown a good shot with one yet because they are so flippy. I'm super excited about it because, again, my theory is if I can learn to throw these, that means I will be increasing the amount of touch that I have on the course. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, there's my first item that I stole. Acquisition from DGA HQ. Ed didn't get to see the vault. Sorry, Ed. Nope. Nothing doing. We got to be careful. We know the type of people, we know the people who are going to have sticky fingers in the vault. And you seem like a real sticky finger type. No vault for you. Hey.
Oh, wait, you can read? Since
Wait
when?
a second. All right, next one. Ben, show us one of yours.
I did get a couple cool things out of the vault, and I've thrown a few of them. We also added to the vault while we were there. I know, right? Because we just had a fantastic new disc launch, and while we were there, KG was like, "Oh man, we haven't added Avalanches to the vault, so there are now first flight Avalanches."
That's cool. That's interesting. Vault. They all got added at one time. I've never really thought about the process of like taking part of a run back there.
Adding new ones. This is one thing that I've been enjoying so far. I got a couple first flight Hurricanes out of the vault. And I've already been throwing them. It's probably hard to see, but they are fantastic. Like, good glide. I can throw these hard, and they just want to push forward, even with a little bit of turn, rather than turning over or hyzering out. They're good neutral Hurricane.
My turn?
Yep. What you got?
This one... Listen, it's important to treat your customer base with respect. But you guys freaking blew it on the Instagram live stream that we had because Ben was showing this one off and not a single person bought it. And I'm like, this is one of the prettiest vortexes that I've ever seen in person.
Until you saw this
gold
one.
Stamp. See, but I'd like yes. I mean, yours. No, sorry, man. I like this one more. The gold stamp on this is just perfect.
I do think that this one would be better. That one has more blue. It has deeper blue. And I do think the gold stamp goes really well. This one has a heart foil stamp, which in person looks cooler than is coming across on the camera, but I would agree.
So I also stole this one from the warehouse. Look how crazy this double stamp vortex is.
It's the world's first ice vortex.
Right? I had no idea what it was other than that I saw it out there with all the discs that were just in a pile, that we're throwing into practice baskets in the warehouse. And I'm like, oh no, that one's coming home with me. I have since learned, and I don't know all the technical ins and outs, but there's a process of setting up a new mold where you run some tester discs first before you put it, before you like, so it was the same, you can see it's the same stamp, right, as this. It's like, but before they put in the plastic with all the swirly and whatever, they run a couple tests with it first. And that's as far as I know. And I don't really even know if that's completely accurate, but I have it from a good inside source. But that's just like crazy. Where's Doc, by the way? Is Doc in here? Because he'd probably pay me $200 for this right now.
That's what Kelly was saying.
So couple sweet vortex. This is technically a Pro Line vortex, which is just awesome. All right, your turn.
I got another cool hurricane. Actually,
Ooh.
I didn't bring it. Dang it. I'll take an intermission break at some point and go get one. I thought I had one. Dang it. I got a circle stamp hurricane.
Ooh.
Which these are, I don't think these are even first flight or anything. They're just
it's the old stock
specific run.
Stock stamp.
Yeah,
it was 2 stock stamps ago.
Yep. But this is nice. This is a little beefier, but still like good dome, a good hand feel, pretty solid flyer. A little more overstable. Not quite as stable as like the new flatter run of SP Hurricanes. And then I got a Rogue, an SP Rogue.
Whoa, that's so clear.
Yeah, this one's pretty darn clear. It's got a like subtle purple tinge on this inner rim, which may be hard to pick up.
Dude, I can't wait to get outdriven by you by about 150 feet with you throwing that Rogue. That's going to be really exciting for me to watch.
This one is 170, 172. I think I had one before that maybe I got from... I got it from Drew. That's who I got it from. I got it from Drew. That's a 167. And that thing was beefy for a Rogue. It doesn't quite fly like a Hurricane, but definitely compared to most Rogues, it was beefy. And I was like, man, I don't know where this one came from. Well, it turns out there was a run of SP Rogues, and there was a few in the vault that were nice. There's some pink ones too, but they had a lower parting line height, which means they're more understable. And I declined on those in favor of these kind of purple blue guy.
Mike, a couple rogue comments coming in. I have a matching one of my favorite flyers, and the Rogue that hooked me on all Rogues. Brian says he could never throw Rogues properly. Give me a Tempest, Hurricane, Torrent, Undertow. I got it. Rogue? Straight Richard. I know, Sepp. I know. But I'm not celebrating.
I need to get 2204 stamped onto like a little additional stamp on here, since that's my username on a few websites.
You certainly do. All right, my turn next. Benjamin here. Wait, what? My turn or no? You got something else?
No, go ahead. I was gonna go get the disc. I forgot.
Oh, you can. Mine are the aftershocks. Benjamin there. Okay, guys. Okay, now that he's gone, seriously, somebody has got to tell him about his breath on these live streams. Okay, I can't do it, but I am telling you, it is coming out my microphone. Like, it is so awkward. Every Friday afternoon, I'm just dreading it. You know what I mean? And I've tried to bring it up before, but he's just like, that's not even possible. It's digital. And I'm like, well, I know it's not me. You know? So if you guys could help me out, just let him know in the comments. Thank you so much. That's the deal with the aftershock. Loving that.
Nice try. I took my phone with me. Thank you very much.
Dang it.
I knew what you were up to.
All right. Benjamin got me back onto the Aftershock gang a few weeks ago when we played I don't remember.
What'd you say? I didn't even hear it. Sorry.
You got me back onto the Aftershock when we were playing a course. I think it was Cleveland Lake, but that doesn't sound right. No, it was...
It's probably Labanite.
It was Labanite. And you let me borrow yours for a while. And I was like, oh, yeah. Like a rift that you can throw a little harder that will finish, finish 10 feet left instead of 10 feet right. Like, it's such a useful complement to the rift. So I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to put my Aftershock back in my bag. Well, I did, but the stupidest thing is that it's the exact same color as my rift. So I'm like, okay, I need to get a different Proline Aftershock, which I promptly forgot about. But then when I was walking around the warehouse, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I need to grab a Proline Aftershock. So I'm excited to have that in the bag. Cool. Like, I know now's not a good time to maybe talk about those colors, but yeah. Nice. Oh, thank you. Thanks, guys. It's working already. Okay. Next, it's another Aftershock, but even better. Who can tell me what this is that's not Ben? Who wants to tell me what this is? It's autographed by a handful of legends, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think you posted about this in the DGA Discord. So if somebody was paying attention in the DGA Discord, they would know the answer to this question.
This is a Shasta Shock. This was a Shasta Chris, basically Tour Series before we were doing Tour Series discs, Aftershock. And it is a little bit more beefy, more torque resistant than the Proline. So depending on wind conditions or how hard I want to throw it, I will be bagging and throwing both of those. And just how cool is it that we got the Masters Cup commemorative stamp on there. And then I had the people I was running the booth with, as well as a couple local legends. Like there's a couple Hapners on there.
Hey,
Autograph
I'm not on there.
No, I saved you a spot right here.
Okay.
For next time. All right, that's my next one. Ah! Jeez. What else you got?
Nice. I also brought home an Aftershock. It's actually...
Whoa, a Spaftershock.
An Aftershock that I didn't know was maybe interesting, but this is a second run Aftershock. There was a little box of them, and there was not many, but KG graciously allowed me to take one since I am a big Aftershock fan.
Hang on, before we talk about that, on that Masters Cup disc I just showed there, Kelly says, we'll be uploading some limited Masters Cup stamped discs to our site in the coming days and weeks. We had, oh yeah, here's a follow-up. Most likely Avalanches and Proline Flex Swirl Squalls. Holy mackerel. If you're part of the DGA All Day group, you may see a few other randoms for sale at some point, and our Discord, discgolf.com/discord. My epidermis is showing. No, I'm not covering up all my epidermis for you. Covered most of it up. That's all you get.
Yeah, those squalls look super fun.
All right, back to you.
All right, I have two more hurricanes for you guys.
Jeez, hurricane guy.
One I actually didn't get from HQ. I got this from John Bashir's on DJ All Day.
Okay.
But it's a lighter weight 169 gram PL Hurricane.
Fun.
Which is kind of nice. And it's worn just a little bit. It's in great shape overall, but it does have a little bit of wear and tear. So this is nice for kind of like a flippy hurricane, if you will. This one will probably tug at a few heartstrings, but I got SP John Baldwin stamp to commemorate his 2011 Masters World Championship, I believe at Santa Cruz.
That's really special. Yeah, I saw a few people saying rest in peace, John Baldwin, earlier in the chat. I was going to mention that a little bit. Obviously, if you're not aware, John Baldwin passed away while we were there. I mean, we're just sitting there running the booth, and phone calls start coming in, and he had passed away the evening before, but that's when the news had hit. And so it was just such a I mean, obviously there's nothing amazing about it. It's terrible and traumatic, but there was a sweetness to it, being there with all the DGA family, his disc golf family, really. And as terrible as it was also, there was something that just kind of felt, appropriate about the fact that so many of his friends were together and able to just kind of grieve together. But it was it was an intense afternoon. I'm not even sure what other adjective to put on it. But as some of you know, John Baldwin was Team DGA for a long time. And as we said in our social post the next day, just once Team DGA, always Team DGA. As far as we're concerned, we have a lot of love for him. I had met him once. I had a 5-minute conversation with him one time at 2 Masters Cups ago, and it impacted me. I've thought about that conversation multiple times since, because he was so genuine, and he was so intent on listening and hearing what I had to say, and then asked questions where you could tell he really wanted to know the answer, and then gave me a couple compliments that were so sincere that obviously I was encouraged by the conversation. But more than that, I think back to that conversation and want to pattern myself and the interactions that I have with people. I've thought about him multiple times over the last year, thinking I want to ask questions like JB did that one time. I want to be able to compliment people, like he did to me. Even if you only have 90 seconds with somebody, you could still say something nice. You could still make an impact.
As someone that had never met him, it became rapidly very apparent to me how close-knit the Santa Cruz and De La tournament crew and community is, because I could see the news rippling through the groups, and then also the willingness to grieve together and be open about that.
Yeah, there was so much vulnerability.
It honestly impressed me that they were that close to each other and willing to be that open and honest with each other. And I think you're right that it happened. It was beneficial to the community that they were all there together already. I think it helped everyone deal with that day.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of memories shared, a lot of funny stories that we got to hear. But obviously still thinking about those that are hurting. Our general manager, Scott, was very, very good friends. Shasta, Scott, and our teammate KK were, an inseparable group for a long, long time. So, while those of us who didn't know him will get distracted and move on with life and, on to the next thing, we know that a lot of people will still be grieving for a long time. And so we're thinking about them today. But yeah, thank you for saying, mentioning him in the comments. And Ben, that's what an amazing driver to be able to have.
Yeah, it adds a lot of, I don't know, I'll definitely think about that day when I throw that disc now. I don't think I'll be able to pick it up without thinking about that day.
We actually staged that. We were filming, I'm not going to tell you all the details, but we've got, I don't know if I can tell you any details, but anyway, we have a new product coming out. And so I was grabbing some footage of Shasta and KK that last day to be able to use in a, promotion when we announce it. And so we were staging those JB discs in it as kind of as a symbolic nod, to those who know. So what's the deal about the JB Hurricanes, by the way? Scott says those are some of the best Hurricanes made. What are the flight characteristics that people like about them?
Glidey, I guess, is the way that I would describe this one. I think it's close to, yeah, it's like normal weight, if you will. I was trying to throw these yesterday, no, 2 nights ago. And these are nice because I could put a little bit of Annie like this and throw them hard, and they would just kind of slowly come back to flat and push, 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 push forward, and then just keep pushing forward. And even at the tail end of their flight, when they're starting to hyzer, it's a like forward pushing hyzer rather than a dumping hyzer.
That sounds like the flight of a nice Tempest throw for my arm speed. Maybe not quite the fit. They might have more fade though.
Yeah, I would agree. But yeah, this has been super nice so far. Really enjoying the flight out of that.
I grabbed a handful more Tour Series things. Oh, we should mention that there's some discs on sale on the website, because that was one thing that I was there. I've never seen so many discs. I've been there maybe 4-5 times at this point over the last 4 years, and there are so many discs. But there are actually a lot of there's a lot of good opportunity for any of you who like the 2022 Tour Series Hurricane, the 2022 Andy Kane. Those are on sale right now. Are the Ledgestone, or no, are the Am Worlds Bonsais, were those LE Bonsais still available and on sale? I just saw this one. Made me think of that.
Yeah, there were bonsais, I think in both weight categories, still available. Yeah, just like that. That's a very, in my experience, like straight glidey run.
Yeah.
Of bonsai. And fairly stiff, I would say, is the other characteristic. But yeah, there are some of those left. There's something else left. Oh, there was
you can just go...
SP Flex pipelines.
Oh, yeah. Yes. This one?
I don't have one up here, but yeah, just like that. Except I think that we're down to yellow left.
Flexy.
Maybe, or a few pink and blue.
There are still Proline Swirl Bonsais and SP Flex pipelines. Oh, but these aren't currently for sale. They're just still available. I got you. Well, if you go to
they're for sale, not on sale.
Yeah, that first word is very important. If you go to our online store, what is the shortcut to the stuff that's on sale? Didn't I feel like we bought or not bought?
I thought there was a sale one. Or something.
Yeah, let me.
Oh, it looks like KG put it in the chat. Maybe
I should know.
I'm gonna. Oh yeah.
If you
sale items.
Yeah, and I was gonna say if you type in discgolf.com/sale. It takes you to, but this looks like gear for look, it's a Disc Golf Comedy Rift is the only disc in there. All right, so Kelly's link is probably gonna actually, oh no, that's taking us to sale items. Where do we see the discs that are on sale?
I think they would be in there if there were some, right?
Yeah,
we'll let KG tell us.
Maybe we just don't have the 2022. Well, I know when you go to Tour Series, you can see below that.
Yeah,
you can
KG
see
said
at the
that
bottom.
They're not all showing right now, but they're going to work on fixing that. So,
yeah, there you go. So if you when you go to the Tour Series page, which is just discgolf.com/Tour Series, if you scroll past the 2023 stuff, you can see a handful of the 2022 things down there. And those are on sale. Ooh, those are actually $5 off right now.
Yeah,
so the Marweed Hurricanes are normally $25. Those are $19.99. Same story for both the Meitzma Quakes from last year and the Trevor Harbolt Icebreaker. That's a great deal. Oh, that's nice. I'll have to check that out. They just did a nice tribute to JB on the network at the start of the MPO broadcast. Every mold needs stuff. That's Kevin, you know they say there's no bad ideas, but that's a bad idea.
I think Cheyenne was talking about a rubber ducky stamped PL breaker. I could see that being neat. I've always thought of like an icebreaker, since that's a ship. Being on an icebreaker would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a big beefy ship. I got this. I don't know if the shimmer, or not shimmer, the like swirls in this will come through on this camera, but there are some subtle. Nope, that just looks terrible. Okay.
But they're there.
Yeah, this is kind of like a see-through quake with some like white streaks running through it. It almost looks like red granite.
Yeah, same. I've got this clear blue one, but there's some kind of white. Ah, man, it's so hard to see.
Yeah. Even if your camera's having a hard time picking them up. That's a great question. David in the chat asks if any DL Quakes are coming in soon. I'm glad you're here requesting those, because I was also in Scott's office politely requesting more DL Quakes.
It's not what he said. He said you screamed at him for 15 minutes.
I did stomp my foot once or twice.
Still, ooh, I didn't know that. There's blank D-line Quakes available for custom stamping. Dang, let's get a run, Ben. Let's make DGA Central. People have been asking. Those would sell. Okay, Kelly, how many do we have? Can we get a run of 100 D-line Quakes? Let's do it. Hey, who's with us? We're looking for investors. We'll start the
in our DGA Central stamped DL Quakes.
We're just always looking for the discs that people are asking for that we just have a few laying around. We're going to be like the... Ooh, wait. That's not actually a Pro Line Titanic or a D-line Titanic.
Yeah, I got this out of the vault, which is kind of cool.
It's only cool when Cole Ridolin throws it.
So that's exactly what happened. Is Tyler and I played a little rainy practice round with Cole. Cole was throwing some sick upshots with his D-line stamped Titanic, and I said, I used to throw a disc very similar to this one. I've never had one in premium plastic. Be neat to try one. So I haven't had a chance to throw this much yet. There was a PL Titanic in the warehouse that I threw just a little, but I don't know. It seems like it could be fun. And then these were not from the warehouse because they had all been sold already, but I got myself a pair of granite BLs.
That's
with
cool.
The Santa Cruz Masters Cup stamp.
Yeah.
We were tent buddies with Tournament Central. They were right next door, and I was over there kind of browsing around, and they had BLs, so I snagged a few.
SP Tempests would be awesome. That's been if Ben's in Scott's office demanding D-line Quakes, I've been demanding SP Tempests because I throw so many Tempests, right? We've had the ice, but yeah, it'd be sick to have a stock run of SP Tempest. I'm with you on that one. Keep asking for it and it'll get done. We're always paying attention, like there's been several things run over the last couple of years that were more or less a direct response, or at least, the opinions of our fans weighed pretty heavily on our decision to do them. So yeah, keep dropping it in comments.
Sep just popped in the chat. He has a list of victories of fan requested discs.
Sep, do you have that handy? I know you've got the list of demands. Don't put that in here, but what's the list of victories that it's at least, could be argued were a direct response to the fan base?
My last disc I have to show off would be this Avalanche, which is has the stamp modified in a similar way that I did. This actually used to be Shasta Chris's, and he was warming up on, I think, Sunday. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it had to be Sunday. I think it was Saturday night
It was
when we were
Saturday
leaving.
because we had the next day. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was when we were leaving. But he showed me this, and it was his Avalanche that he'd been throwing while he was warming up, and it got wedged in a tree, kind of like this. And like multiple people had tried to get it out. It was like a downed log, but it got wedged in the down log, and nobody got it out. And I went over and somehow muscled this thing out. And I tried to give it back to Shasta, and he declared that he couldn't take it because it was Excalibur, and I was the only one who could wield it.
Well, which is super special. And it's cool too,
yeah.
because that was the Avalanche that you posted a picture of your Avalanche that you had wiped some of the stamp but left the birds on. And then in the comments, Shasta posted that one, saying, dude, I did the same thing in the exact same way, which is crazy.
Yeah,
we only run
will,
things for Jeff Goodspeed. That's funny.
I will definitely treasure this. I don't know if you're out there watching this particular one, Shasta, but I will. I'm going to put this in the bag and throw it for you.
Yeah, ice. What was Jeff's? Was it the Ice BL? Was that what Jeff was asking for? I remember that. I tried to send him one before the word got out to the general public, but he had moved, and I sent it to an old address. Oh, man. Yeah, it was the Ice BL, which, Jeff, you were ahead of your time, because since you forced us to run that, well, now skip forward a year or so, Katrina has loved it, has always mained it as like a driving, a throwing putter. And now you've got all these new people on the team, Austin Turner, Austin Hannum, Cole Ridallen, and they're all loving the Ice BL as a driving putter. Ben Sorensen. So it's probably because of Jeff. I don't know. Is Jeff responsible for all of our team at this point? Like,
yeah, Cole was looking at the contract, and in there it said we have premium plastic beaded or unbeaded throwing putters.
Mm-hmm. Proline Flex BL, yeah, those were money too. I got a couple other Tour Series things. Basically, fantastic week. It was so fun to see the team. I spent my week was very very easy to describe because it was in two parts. The first half was filming every day with Team DGA. The second half was running the booth. You helped me so much, with those two things, but you also kind of were out and about and got to do some things. And then when we were running the booth, of course, you were helping like set up and do things or whatever, but you spent a lot more time than I did, like following the team around during Masters Cup.
Yeah, I walked with KK all 3 days, all 18 holes, all 3 days.
Nice.
So I got some cool pictures of her throwing and some cool videos from Top of the World.
I got to caddy for Cole for the second half of day 2, and that was a very, very fun experience. And I have been asked to come back at Kansas City Wide Open.
You've been asked to come back never again.
I've been asked to come back so that he can issue the restraining order. No, it was just good vibes. And Cole's just like, for one thing, he's super funny, He's got a great sense of humor, but he's also just really, really talented and really, really confident. So all those things put together make for a pretty fun card mate. You know what I mean? And just the amount of times where he'd like miss something and then turn around to me and be like, or like make something and then turn around and be like that. And that was, yeah, it was just really fun listening to him talk about his shots and just offering him a couple words of encouragement here or there.
Tyler, who else did we get to see while we were at Masters Cup?
We saw Kelly, we saw Cole, we saw KK.
Who was Scott, a little bit of a surprise?
Caesar, Matt, and Britta, and their baby Stevie.
No. We saw this. Well, we did see all those people at the course.
Allie and Mary.
Yeah.
Our teammate, Allie Smith, and her partner, Mary, showed up. They, just because of the proximity to Jonesboro and OTB Open, they didn't compete at Masters Cup, but it was cool to see them. I'm glad they stopped by on their way through. That was fun.
Yeah, I played not a little less than half of the course with Allie and Mary. And
dude.
Team DGA.
You're hurting me.
Ezra Hapner.
You played with Ezra?
Yeah, the four of us, or the three of us, played with Ezra.
Dude, that actually makes me so sad. If I had known that Ezra was there too, I might have just asked Scott, and I guess that would be Kelly on day 2, right? Is when that was. Yeah. I might have just said, hey, can I go play instead of tearing down the booth? Like, please. It's playing around with Ezra has been like a bucket list item of mine for a while. And then just going around De La with Allie and Mary and you, like, that just sounds so fun. I was so sad because we hurried and we cleaned up the booth and everything. And then I kind of rushed out to find you guys. And then by the time we like caught up to you, you had 5 holes left. I was like, okay, well, I can at least play 5 holes with you. But then Allie was like, I'm out.
Yep.
I'm not doing
they
the hill.
Gassed.
Yeah. Sad times. Wait, was it just me?
No.
Okay.
They needed to get gas in their car.
Like you didn't, like I didn't, oh, that's too bad. And then we walk away and then they come back to you and they're like, hey, do you want to keep playing?
Hey, do you want to go to the top of the hill?
Let's go to the top of the hill.
Yeah, but then I turned them down to play with you and Scott.
Yeah.
To watch you throw
first flight tremors
beautifully all over the course.
Beautifully. They say at De La, don't miss right. So that's why I threw the flippiest tremor possible on every single tee shot all the way around De La.
You threw a massive hyzer on every shot, right?
I was, to be completely honest, it was mostly not my decision making and mostly my execution because we had been sitting in a booth for 10 hours, you know, and I was just yanking every shot straight to the right. So imagine a shot that you don't want to miss right, throwing a first flight tremor to the right. Like, that's not going to end up well. I found some interesting parts of De La that afternoon. Jeff's new demand is for an understable putter. I would love that too.
Skipper?
Put it on the list. SP Tempests, an understable putter. That's not the Reef. I mean, frankly, like the Reef is great, but I would love yeah, something new. Something that's not the Reef. If that could happen, I think we would have 100% DGA molds at that point. I think the Reef, we haven't run the Reef in a really long time, so it's probably even fair to say today that it is, but I think that would be like the official mile marker of, you know, the day that we added like an understable putter mold and made the Reef OOP or something. Then I think that would be like press release, you know,
we've done
completely unique mold lineup. I can't think of anything else. That'd be awesome. Thin profile, fierce like. Yeah, I'd be down for all that. That'd be a really fun disc to add to the lineup. The Steadies are just the perfect, you know, staple putters that everyone should aspire to have in their disc lineup. But you do want, we have the breaker on the one side. You want something on the other side too. It'd be fun.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
You playing anywhere this weekend, Ben?
I am actually. I'm gonna do some practice for another B tier I have in Kansas City metro area. There's 2 rounds on Saturday and 2 rounds on Sunday.
Whoa.
It is going to be intense. So Saturday we'll play Waterworks and La Bonite.
Twice?
And then,
oh, okay. Waterworks and La
then
Bonite.
yeah. And then Sunday we'll go to Smithville Lake and play Blackthorn, and I don't remember the name of the other course. But there's 3 courses at Smithville Lake.
That's going to be intense.
We'll actually be outdoors, not intense, but...
oh, well, that makes more sense.
I'm going to sleep in my own bed every night, too. I'm not going to camp.
Do you want to stay here? Hey, Ben, what was the most annoying thing about me after spending... Let's talk about what we learned about each other that we hated after living together for a whole week. I've got a whole list about you, but you go first.
The things I hated about you the most after living with you for a week was I moderately dislike your need to run a fan all night.
Hey, what's up, Luke? Woodhenge, says David Allen. Yeah, no, that's fair. I actually didn't have anything on my list. I just wanted to make you comfortable to say.
Oh, you know what I appreciate even more?
Okay. What I appreciate
your
about
ability your ability to carry a bottle opener with you everywhere you go.
Well, actually, that right there, you have kind of started to, symbolically hit on, the things that annoyed me about you, during the trip. And I guess I'll just leave it there. But the people can draw their own conclusions. But especially the one night that this came out.
If you want to
too many
if you
times,
want to really make Tyler your friend, you just keep bringing him drinks and say, "Please, I'm having another."
How much do you think? How much do you think we if we auctioned off the Marco Polo videos of you Saturday night? Like in all day or something, you think anybody would pay for those? Because let me tell you, you want to see them. You want to see them. I don't think they should be released to the public, though.
They're great. I was on one, as they say.
Yeah, something. Yeah, he was on something. No, I always had it. It's right here. Yeah, because I was taught early in my life that thing where you take the bottle and you go... Never need a bottle opener.
Unfortunately for me.
Yeah, old rubber ring over there. Nope. Poor guy.
Yeah,
all right.
I didn't pack one.
Well, that's it. 5 o'clock, perfect timing. Thanks for hanging out, as always, DGA fam. Benjamin, good luck this weekend at your 2 double rounders.
No, just practice. Just practice.
Don't miss left at Waterworks. It kind of feels like in a lot of the course, that's sort of the vibe. Since it goes kind of around the hill in the opposite direction. Don't miss left. Throw those new hurricanes. If you throw the JB hurricane, pour one out. But you probably also won't be drinking in the middle of a sanctioned round either. Especially since you don't have a...
Yeah, I know. I have a stretchy guy. No, this weekend is just practice. So if I am playing and I have one, then I'll pour one out.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next week. Be on the lookout for some fun disc and product things. We have a lot of content coming as well. And as we said at the beginning of the show, we've got a couple new super lightweight but also sturdy active jerseys on the site, as well as some discs that are on sale. We, of course, have the Avalanche and the 2023 Tour Series. And Oh, and be on the lookout for some Masters Cup stamped discs. They're not up there yet, but we had some left over from our booth after the event, and I think we're going to try and get them listed on our site. So those of you who weren't there, could still have a piece of history with the commemorative Masters Cup stamped
Yeah, I
discs.
saw those in the box, and those Flex Squalls looked great.
Until next week, my name is Optimus Prime.
And my name is The Ben Sorensen, and I want you to throw DGA discs.
The DGA baskets. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Man, we're really crushing these outros. We're so good at outros. Can you believe it?